This is the birth of a bagel. Not just any bagel, a traditional hand-rolled bagel. When you taste Neal's hand-rolled bagels located in Gaithersburg, Maryland, Montgomery County's finest, you'll think you just walked into a deli from the streets of New York. This is where it all begins. Great bagels have to start with the freshest dough and ingredients. We're going to start by mixing the flour. Now we're going to add a little bit of water. Here comes the salt. Finally, the yeast. Today we're making a batch of raisin bagels. They go straight into the mixer. Obviously, the flavor of the bagel dictates the remainder of the ingredients. This varies from maple syrup to jalapenos to walnuts, you name it. The flavor is limited only to one's imagination. Here at Neal's Bagels, we serve 22 different taste sensations every single day. We welcome special orders and cater special events as well. Now the dough comes straight out of the mixer, right onto the cutting table. It's important that our bagels are made just right. They come out with the perfect texture. You know, that right amount of chewiness? Characteristics of a New York City hand-rolled bagel.
It's on there.
Now we roll the dough out so it's about an inch thick and primed to be cut into strips. This is where size does matter, especially when making consistent bagels. As you can see, each slice is done with precision and accuracy. We slice and hand roll each bagel all in one quick motion. Watch closer, you're going to miss it. Then connect the ends together to form a complete circle, and place them on a bagel sheet coated with cornmeal to prevent the sticking.
Okay.
The sheets are then placed onto a rolling rack so the dough is timed to rise. After that, we'll place the rolling rack in the walk-in cooler for safekeeping. The baking process starts by removing the bagel dough from the cooler. Yesterday's batches of dough become today's bagels. Based on the day's orders, it's time to start baking, and someone's got to make the bagels. We begin by dumping an entire sheet of bagels into the kettle of boiling water and malt for reactivating the bagels. This process will put a nice glaze on the outside of the bagel. They're normally only in the water for about 60 to 90 seconds before they float to the top. The floating bagels are then scooped out and placed on rustic burlap-covered wooden bagel boards. It's the bagel lineup, the bagels and the boards getting ready to go into the oven. The rotating bagel oven has very large shelves, can handle hundreds of bagels at one time. This type of oven allows us to bake many varieties of bagels in the same oven at the same time. Time to sprinkle in the toppings and make different flavored bagels, such as poppy, sesame, salt. The bagels take about 20 minutes to dry and cook. The baker generally eyes the bagels and decides when they're finished. It's important to flip the bagels during the baking process so that they have a golden brown color all around. This requires a lot of skill and experience. You gotta keep an eye on the different types of bagels going in the oven. Some you flip over, the ones that need to come out, you know. Each time you open the door, it affects the oven temperature just a bit. And this is where a keen eye and baker savvy really come into play. The kitchen at Neal's Bagels is like an assembly line. We line up all the empty baskets, waiting for the freshly baked bagels to go into their temporary homes. As you can see, we take them straight from the oven, right to the empty baskets. The baskets will hold all the day's precious inventory in the kitchen area. Since we can't sell bagels from the kitchen, it's time to move them up front. And there lies the hand-rolled bagel process, by Neal's Bagels of Gaithersburg, Maryland. Montgomery County's best bagels. Neal'sBagels.com.